Will Blake the Snake Gratton turn the competition into reptile food? Can Leigh, Street Terror Long, rip up the crag? Or is Drew, the rebel Nasrallah, planning to overthrow them both?
Do you have it?
I'm Mike O'Malley. Welcome to the Extreme Arena. This is Nickelodeon Guts. Do you have it?
It takes a certain kind of person to get the body working to the level of precision that's needed to be risen to the top. Do you have it? It takes a certain kind of something to keep the heart pumping, something everybody needs to achieve to succeed in your life. Do you have it?
Do you have it?
Well, folks, we have brought the outside inside on our next event. It's called Vertiboggan, and what we do is we have our players flying down 22-foot-high ski slope, guts on snow. A new event. Let's go to our referee, Maura Quirk, for the rules. Hey, Mo, how you doing today?
Well, my knuckles are very white right now. I'm way, way up. And here are the rules. At the sound of my whistle, each of our players will steer their Vertiboggan down the course. Best time wins. Back to you.
All right, so our players are ready. Now, remember, folks, all of our events here on Guts are played with stunt coordinators and stunt spotters throughout our Extreme Arena. It looks like our blue player, Blake, is ready.
On your mark, get set.
All right, so with that whistle, they begin to slide down, and it's extremely important to push off and get a good start flying down that slope. As you see those moguls right there, trying to trip up him as he comes across the finish line. So let's go and get the official time.
Here it is, Mike. Blake clocked in at 10.7 seconds.
10.7 seconds. Okay, so you take a look as he comes down over those moguls. Good motion down that, and it looks like Leigh is ready. They call her the Street Terror. Let's see if she can beat that time.
On your mark, get set.
All right, so the push-off is going to be extremely important as you see her trying to negotiate that turn and make the second turn right through the moguls. She's going to have to hustle across the finish line, and she's going to beat that time. Oh, look how close that was as she came spinning around at the end. And she did nice work on that, but if that is an official time, let's go to Mo.
Leigh clocked in at 10.8 seconds.
Oh, wow. So very close. You see those guys talking about their turn at the end. Watch as she comes across the finish line, just 1/10 of a second, and a little spin right there. But she was caught by our stunt spotter, and it looks like our third player, Drew, is ready.
On your mark, get set.
All right, and so Drew, let's see if he can beat that time. Now look at him hustling. He continues to push himself down through the moguls. A little bit out of control, though. Let's see if he can keep his balance across the finish line. But that time's official, and we'll go to Mo. Mo.
Drew clocked in at 10.2 seconds. That puts him in first place. Blake in second place. Leigh in third place.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, and let our Guts players come flying down this. Just tenths of a second between all three of our players. A great way to start our competition right here. Let's go to Mo and check out our leaderboard standings. Mo.
Well, Mike, first place in our event is worth 300 points. That goes to Drew in purple. In second place with 200 points, Blake in blue. In third place with 100 points, Leigh in red.
All right, folks. Well, that's just our first event. We got a whole bunch more events coming up. Let's go to Mo and check out what our event lineup is. Mo.
Well, first up, we've brought the Winter Olympics to the Extreme Arena with Vertiboggan. And next we have our see-through sea race invisible boat. For our second half, it's up to the aerial gridiron for touchdown. And then it's back down to the field for peak to peak. It's the tops. And as always, the MegaCrag is last. Mike.
All right, folks, that's right. We are far from finished. We have plenty more coming up. And one of our players is going to go home with a glowing piece of our awesome rock. And right now, it's time for Spill Your Guts.
Hi, my name is Blake. I play soccer and I was on the swim team. I have a twin brother named Brock, and my favorite athlete is Tony Mueller.
Well, we're going to be making our way across the pool in our next event. It's called Invisible Boat. That's right. We don't have any boats, but we got some paddles, we got some harnesses, and we have three very determined kids. Let's go to Mo for the rules. Mo.
At the sound of my whistle, each of our players will paddle themselves across the pool and back, making sure to touch the edge of the pool with their paddle to end the race. Best time wins. On your mark, get set.
And so Blake will be starting right here. With 200 points going into this event, he'll be setting the pace that our other players will try to compete against. And And we'll watch the pivot, an extremely important part right here, and a good push-off right there on his return. He's got the paddle, putting it good wide strokes right here, powering his way across. We heard him talk about being on the swim team and coming across right there with the touch. Let's go to Mo and get the official results for Blake. Mo.
Blake clocked in at 23.8 seconds, Mike.
All right, Blake. My man, talk to me a second here. You say you're on the swim team. Did your experience on the swim team help in this event at all?
Little.
A little. How much?
The kicking.
The kicking. Got it down. Mo's ready for our next player. Mo.
On your mark, get set.
All right, Leigh. Well, you heard Blake talk about the kicking. Let's see what Leigh can do with the kicking right here. And she is very determined. Good paddle technique and good kicking. Now let's see her turn and pivot right here, because she is very near to splitting his time right there. You got to really drive in for the finals. This is when a lot of our players start to lose their strength as they're coming in for the final touch. She's got to continue to drive all the way. Very, very close time on that. Let's go to Mo and find out the official result. Mo.
Leigh clocked in at 24.5 seconds.
Okay, so as you can see, very important to continue paddling, continuing your strength right there all the way through to the finish line. Little high five between our players right there, showing each other support. Drew's in the pool. He's our leader, and he's ready.
On your mark, get set.
All right, well, they call Drew the Rebel. That's his nickname, and look at this man fly. He has got very strong, long legs, great turn right there, and continuing to drive. It looks like this event is all his if he can keep up this pace. Very strong leg work, driving across and with the touch right there. Looks like another first-place finish. Let's go to Mo for the time. Mo.
Yes, Drew clocked in at 17.1 seconds. That puts Drew in first place, Blake in second place, Leigh in third place.
All right, excellent work right here. Now look at Drew coming in here. Just really long strokes right there. And the pivot, no problem, puts his hand right there. And with the kick and with the push, tremendous work on that. Now, Drew, you got another first-place finish in that event. What were you thinking going into the pivot right there?
I was just trying to get the best push-off I could. But on the way back, I kind of got stuck in the middle because the stream's pushing me and everything. But I made it.
You certainly did make it, and you got another first-place finish. Let's go to Mo and check out our leaderboard standings. Mo.
Well, right now, Drew is in the lead with 600 points. In second place, Blake with 400 points. In third place, Leigh with 200 points.
Well, that's just our first two events, folks. We're going to be using one of these in our next one. That's right. Touchdown coming up. You come back. Welcome back to Guts. It's the Mike and Mo halftime show. I'm Mike, she's Mo, and great competition so far. Somebody's going home with a glowing chunk of our great, awesome, radical rock. What do you think about our competition so far?
I refuse to be absolute about anything right now. I think our players have a lot of surprises for us, Mike.
Let's take a look at some highlights from the first half.
Here we go. This is our ski run right here, and you'll see our blue player Blake daddling down our curve right there. And just
look at those
going over
moguls,
the moguls right now, just trying to knock him off balance, but he keeps speeding around. Here is Leigh, who took these moguls at quite a speed. There she is. And around the corner, very nice.
Good balance, good form.
Yes, and kept pushing all the way to the finish line. That's really, really important to keep that speed up. And this is Drew right now, who took this away. And remember, our players, I mean, he only beat our players by a couple of tenths of a second. It was very, very close here. Just a matter of seconds or tenths of a second. This is Blake splashing his way across here.
Splash, he's not taking it back.
Yep,
he's in the pool for invisible boat.
Drew, who splashed just about everyone on the set here. Boys paddling. We were all completely drenched, but we were glad. He did a good job.
And he has 2 first-place finishes.
Yes.
All right, well, I know you got to get back down on the field for our next event.
Bye, Mr.
And right
O'Malley.
now, we'll see you later, Mo, because right now it's time for Leigh to spill her guts.
Hi, I'm Leigh the Street Terror Log. I clear up the streets on my skateboard. I'm a black belt at Taekwondo, and I also play shortstop and softball. So I guess you could say I'm an all-around competitive athlete.
Well, the Street Terror is going to be airborne in our next event. Imagine the Dallas Cowboys boys. The whole line is charging you. You got to make the touchdown. You're going to be a little aerial sports, elastic sports event right here. Let's go to Mo for the rules. Mo.
At the sound of my whistle, all three players will have 60 seconds to score as many touchdowns as possible. The player with the most touchdowns wins. Mike.
All right, so our players are bouncing and ready. Now, remember, folks, all of our events here on Guts are played with the utmost in safety equipment, so please do not try any of these events here at home. Let's go to Mo for the kickoff of this touchdown event.
Players, on your mark, get set.
All right, and so with that whistle, our players begin their jumping right there, throwing the balls. It looks like Drew with the score right there. There's Leigh overshooting her goal right there and not completing. There's Drew again. Now he has 5 for him and great aim. This guy was born with an elastic cord on his back and a football in his hand, it looks like right there. There's Blue with 1. That's Blake. Time, about half of our time left as our players continue to try to stretch and pull each other so they can get a hold of those footballs. Just missing, that was Drew in purple. There's Blake with another one, and just in, now he's got 2 also. So as they're pulling each other, there's Drew with another score right there. Remember, stamina and strength to get through this event. It is 1 minute of pulling and pushing, and Leigh is basically completely hanging there without getting the bounce and the effort she needs as Drew throws another one. Our players, this is going to be very important on Blake's last throw. Overshooting, there's Drew with another in the goal. All right, folks, so even though the footballs are there and they've got the goals, if they bounce out, let's go to Mo and check out the results there.
In first place was Drew with 6 touchdowns. In second place, Blake with 3. In third place, Leigh with 2.
All right, take a look right here. It was all Drew. This guy had concentration and focus, taking the football, threading the needle, dumping it right there. Nice work on him. Excellent work. And right now, actually, we're going to talk to Leigh about that last event. Now, Leigh, when in that event, it was definitely had some trouble getting some bounce there at the end. What happened there?
People are pulling each other, so it's hard to bounce.
It's very difficult as the other players are pushing and pulling your way. You're trying to aim. You're trying to maintain your endurance. Let's go to Mo and check out our leaderboard now. Mo.
Well, Drew is in the lead with 900 points. In second place, Blake with 600 points. In third place, Leigh with 300 points.
Okay, folks. Touchdown. Right now it's time for Drew to spill his guts.
Hi, I'm Drew the Rebel. I'm 14 years old and I like to play tennis and rollerblade. My favorite athlete is Andre Agassi because he's a rebel and he's a great player.
You're hopping, you're popping, you're be-a-bopping from outcropping to outcropping. It's peak to peak, our next event. Drew's got a perfect game on the line. Let's go to Mo for the rules. Mo.
At the sound of my whistle, each player will cross the mountain range, making sure to hop on each peak. Fastest time wins. On your mark, get set.
All right, so we'll see what Blake can do in this event right here. He needs to hustle his way to a good time because he'll set the pace. As he goes from peak to peak, you can see him leaping with the harness on his back. Good hustle as he needs to turn around and make a good pivot and swirl as he makes his way. 1 foot on each, touching that. And then on to the next. He's really going to have to pick up his pace again. He's just hanging right here, losing precious seconds here, folks. He's got to pick up the pace again. Blake hustling in for the finish. He's going to have to touch. Now, when you get back up to that aerial bridge, they got to hustle all the way and make the touch so they can get the official final time. Mo will then confer with our judges. Let's go to Mo. Mo.
Blake clocked in at 36.6 seconds, including 2 penalties of 2 seconds each.
All right. Take a look at Blake right here, hopping from one to the next and doing nice work, but missing that peak right there. And so he hustles in with his time. He's giving you a little thumbs up, and it looks like Leigh is ready.
On your mark, get set.
All right, so let's see what Leigh can do in this event. She needs a really good time. She's using both feet to get good foot movement on each peak. She hustles to the next one. She's going to have to get a good jump of this off of this one, and she continues, leaping from one to the next. Look at that power and the precision as you get an up-close and personal shot right here. She could definitely beat Blake's time if she keeps on hustling. So continuing to try to hold on to her balance as she hits one peak and pushes off for the next one. She's lost a little bit of her rhythm right here. She's definitely going to have some penalties. All right, so right there you see the time to beat above our camera. Above that score that she got right there, that time. They're going to talk to the judges about what the penalties were for the peaks that she might have missed. We'll go to Mo right now. Mo.
Leigh clocked in at 30.6 seconds with no penalties. Players will receive a 2-second penalty if they do not place at least 1 foot on the peak.
Okay, so you heard what Mo said as we take a look at Leigh stepping off right here. Let's take a look at the replay right here. So right now she is our leader, and she had nice form as she was hopping with both feet. And that strategy seemed to help her. She only got a penalty right there because she did not hit the peak with one of her 2 feet, but she did nice work, and she's now our leader as Drew gets set to start hopping.
On your mark, get set.
Okay, so we'll see what Drew can do. Now, Drew's going for the 1-foot method right here. He's just going from 1 foot to the next and using his long, powerful legs. This guy is on fire today, folks. He is tearing apart the competition. He is going for a perfect game right now, and it looks like it's going to be all his. This guy is an unbelievable athlete. You saw right there, cutting major time off Leigh's time. Let's go to Mo. Mo.
Drew clocked in at 17.3 seconds, which puts him in first place. Leigh in second place. Blake in third place.
Unbelievable, folks. This guy, Drew, I'm telling you, man, this guy was just born to compete on guts. This guy, they call him the Rebel, just 1 foot after the other, flying in, out, over. Let's go to Mo and check out our leaderboard standings going into the MegaCrag. Mo.
Well, right now, Drew in purple is in the lead with 1,200 points. Blake in blue is second with 700 points, and Leigh in red is third with 500 points.
Okay, folks, so we got our players down in the field, and coming up next is the Crag. What do you expect when you're going into the Crag, Leigh?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. We got the Crag coming up. You plan on getting to the top of that thing first?
Yep.
Hey, Drew, you got a perfect game on the line. What are you going to do en route to the top?
I'm taking it all.
All right, folks, that's what we say. The Crag's coming up. We're getting a little warm up right now. We got a mountain coming up. Well, welcome back to Guts, folks. What a competition so far. Let's go to Mo and check out our leaderboard, Mo.
Well, after 4 events, Drew in purple is in the lead with 1,200 points. In second place, Blake in blue with 700 points. In third place, Leigh in red with 500 points.
Ow! Take a look at the second half highlights right here. As you see, in blue, that's Blake putting it with 2 hands right into our goal. We got a few footballs right in there in our touchdown event. Take a look with flying grace. That's Leigh. Good aim, up high, top of her jump. Yeah, there's a goal for her right there. Good work for her. But all day long, the story right here has been Drew. Look at this man with determination, up, pointing, aiming, shooting, firing. First place in that event also. We go to Blake in peak to peak, hustling, making good time, but got tripped up right there as he came crashing into that peak. That slowed down his time tremendously. We take a look right here in red. That's Leigh. She also missed that peak. That slowed her down, but she had a good recovery, making it back up and getting good form, balance, speed right here. She took second place in this event. We're going into this event, perfect game on the line. Drew knew what he needed to do, and that means hustle as fast as he could, and with his long legs making it work. Tremendous competition by him so far. He's taken first place in all of these events. Perfect game. He is very, very hot. We'll see if the MegaCrag can cool him down, because our Crag has taken on a new molten color, folks. Now it is mega. Mega large, mega sharp, and mega challenging. From its very core, the shard zone has erupted into a tangled mass of petrified lava. And now our players, as they climb to the top of that peak, they will encounter stone ledge, a horizontal rock climb trying to prevent them from locking in on their final actuator. As they climb, they will also encounter obstacles and trigger obstacles like snowstorms, floods, and nuclear flying crystals trying to trip them up. And of course, the sound and fury of a dormant volcano ready to blow awaits our players at the base of that mountain. I hope our players are ready. Let's go to Mo for the rules. Mo!
Players will start at the sound of my whistle. Each player has an identical side of the mountain to climb and may not cross into another player's path. Now, during their climb, our players must light up each of 8 targets located on their side of the crag. The first player to activate all of the targets, including the final one at the peak of the crag, will receive first place points. Mike.
And so the number 1 sign from Drew as we take a look at Leigh in red. Remember, Drew is going up against Blake and Leigh to see if they can stop him from getting his perfect game. He puts up the number 1 side. He has Guts history, the annals, the history books of Guts. Could he take home an all-star performance? We're about to find out. Perfect game on the line. That's the story here. Let me remind you that the points, they have skyrocketed in this event. Third place being worth 375 points, second place 550, and first place 725 points. Perfect game on the line. I think we're ready to kick this off. Mo!
Players, on your mark, get set.
All right, folks, so you take a look at Blake right there getting up Boulder Canyon. We'll see if he can hustle his way out in front. There's Leigh right there, hitting the last part of Boulder Canyon. They must hit each and every part of Boulder Canyon or they will be disqualified. And so you see right there all of our players really flying up the mountain. There's Blake in blue. He looks to be right now out in the lead. As you see all of our players, there's Drew in purple going underneath the shard zone hitting his last actuator. There's Blake, he's behind him, that's the same actuator. It looks like Drew powering his way up to a first place finish. No surprise there. That's Drew at the top of the peak. Now we'll see who can get there second. You see our players at Stone Ledge. They're up at Stone Ledge, it looks like. Leigh in second. And locking in third will be Blake. Let's go to Mo. Mo.
In first place on the MegaCrag, Drew in purple. In second place, Leigh in red. In third place, Blake in blue.
All right, folks, so the pressure was on Drew. Not many players who have competed on Guts have ever come home with a perfect game, and he knew he had that on the line. That's what he wanted as he hit his first 2 actuators and hustled his way to our next level. Right here, our players are very close, though. You see Drew just slightly ahead of Leigh and Blake. Drew was in purple on the right, Leigh and Blake, Leigh in the middle, Blake on the left, and right here, feeling it, perfect game, potential all-star, that's Drew at the top, locking in, punching in, first place points at the top of the crag. A magnificent performance by Drew today. He was definitely the story all day long, totally excelling in every single event. Let's go to Mo and check out our final leaderboard standings. Mo!
The MegaCrag made it a very close competition today, Mike. In third place today, Leigh in red with 1,050 points. In second place, Blake in blue with 1,075 points. Our winner today, Drew in purple, perfect score, 1,925 points.
Bronze will go to Leigh. She's our player in red. Leigh getting up the crag at second will take home the bronze. The silver medal will go to Blake. Blake, finishing with 1,075 points, will take home the silver medal. And ladies and gentlemen, perfect game, an all-star and all rights. Right here, we will give the gold medal to Drew. We'll give him a piece of that glowing rock. He'll take it home to show everyone. No ifs, ands, or buts. These kids got guts. Do you have it?
Unstoppable, endurance unnatural. You're trying your best and not all things are possible. Fullness unfolding, thing you're holding. Persistence and courage together you're molding. Short shots to the clock, on top, non-stop. Go get a good skill, good times. You got you see your goal. You're reaching, you grab it. Now ask yourself,
Do you have it?
Do you have it?
Was recorded in front of a live audience at Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando at Universal Studios, Florida.